Welcome back to the Means Report. Thanks again to Dr. Craig Albert. Great information from him. And now we turn our attention to an exciting event, an important event in our community that is coming up on September 14th. It's a Mental Health and Wellness Family Fun Day. Andrea Gregory is the Director of Business Development at Aurora Pavilion Behavioral Health Services. You do great work for those who truly need it, Andrea, you and your team. And I appreciate you being here. You doing okay?
Brad, thank you for having us. We're grateful to have the opportunity for sure.
I don't know if I associate mental and behavioral health and Family Fun Day with one another a lot. What made y'all decide to do this, to really put the spotlight on these issues?
Well, one of our biggest initiatives and focuses at Aiken Regional Medical Centers, who owns Aurora Pavilion Behavioral Health, is to create awareness and education in our community regarding mental health and behavioral health, Brad. It's a very important initiative to get that message out, to make sure that people in our community understand that it's okay to get the help they need and to talk about it and to start those conversations.
Well, that kind of answers my next question, which is there still a stigma associated with mental and behavioral health? We've worked so hard for there not to be, and for people to feel comfortable. You think there's still some reluctance?
Absolutely. That is the biggest obstacle and barrier we run into every single day, Brad, and it is it's a major speed bump. We have got to work harder at all levels of government, medical facilities, schools, nonprofits, just across the board to educate that community. Now, you'll notice I'll harp on that word a lot in our session. Sure. Because if we understand the issues and the underlying effects and understanding the red flags, then we'll be able to get people to step out of that box of stigma and seek the help and the resources that are out there for everyone to use.
Yeah, I think one of the easiest ways to overcome that stigma is for people to realize they're not alone. Is there a typical patient, a typical client, or do mental and behavioral health issues impact all of us?
You know, as an advocate for mental health at the community level and at Aiken Regional Medical Centers, Aurora Pavilion, one of the things that we see is that mental health issues don't discriminate. They affect every socioeconomic level, they affect every demographic, every race, every background. And so, you know, I always, when I go on speaking engagements, I always explain, I said, you know, we all have mental health. It's just to what degree and to what diagnosis and how we manage it, because these are chronic health conditions, just like physical ailments. Mental health is a chronic ailment that needs to be managed.
How do you know if you're unwell? How do you know if you have a moment perhaps or an entire day or week where you say something was a little off, but I can overcome it, versus something was a little off, I'd better go see somebody?
Sure, that's a great question. We get asked that often. And, you know, without getting too clinical, you know, we all suffer from anxiety, and that's what gets us out of bed and, you know, doing these shows or, you know, preparing.
I felt it this morning.
Yeah. Preparing for a test, you know, when you're in college or medical school, we need those levels of anxiety. And same with depression. We all go through life-altering situations. We go through death, which, you know, causes grief. We go through, you know, maybe a loss of a job, maybe you know, you lose a game or whatever, and we could get mopey and dumpy and depressed. So these are all very normal human reactions to exterior factors. But the moment that you can't move past it, the moment where it's affecting your activities of daily living, that's the moment where we should all step back and think, you know, maybe I need to go talk to somebody, or maybe I need to go talk to a friend or a relative or my church or my school or my work because I'm not feeling right. And it's okay to ask those questions. And organizations now are advocating for this more than ever. And I'm proud to work at Aiken Regional Medical Centers, where we have started, through the leadership of one of my colleagues, Crystal Mock, a Minds Matter committee that focuses on our staff.
Can you cure people?
You know, I don't want to say that, because I am in my experiences in advocating and dealing with my colleagues on the clinical side and our psychiatrists, it's very poignant that this is a chronic condition that needs to be managed. So can you feel better and do great and accomplish amazing things and take a hold of your life? Absolutely. But it needs to be managed. So if you are diagnosed with a mental health condition, managing it, staying on top of it, going after that self-care, taking your medicine if that's the option appropriately and consistently, and really taking care of those areas will help you manage it most effectively.
What can people expect at the Family Fun Day coming up very shortly on the 14th, just a few short days away? What kind of resources are going to be available? And I know we could spend the rest of our interview on this, but just some highlights they can expect.
Yeah, I do love that it's called Family Fun Day, because we do have to add a positive note to mental health, and that's what it is. It's an informational session, bunch of resources, bunch of education. Everybody's welcome. Huge sponsors that are going to be supporting this stigma-based kind of vision. So we're trying to change that. But the resources, we'll have Mental Health America. They're going to be there doing Rocks of Hope. We're going to have NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Health. So we're going to have great organizations there that are currently doing groups and hosting support mechanism for the community. Aurora will be there. We're going to have fitness. We're going to have gardening. We're going to have art. Our art therapist will be doing something. So a lot of great things and information. So
really just an opportunity to have a fun day.
Yes.
Is there an opportunity to perhaps go up to one of those booths or setups where one of the resources you mentioned is there and say, look, I think I might need some assistance? And then what happens? They don't help you right there at the Family Fun Day, but they can get you on the path to better health?
100%. And that is a perfect opportunity. If you know someone, family, friend, colleague that needs help, come and we will put you on the right path for recovery and managing that chronic mental health condition. We will put you on the path that day.
Well, Aiken Regional Medical Centers and Aurora Pavilion, y'all have been a bright light in our community for a long time. This is another example of it. Thanks for doing this Family Fun Day. I hope the turnout is huge.
We hope so too. It's going to be a great opportunity for the community for sure.
Definitely. Andrea, thanks for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. Andrea Gregory, give our love to everybody back at the Pavilion and Aiken Regional. When we come back, how you can help shape future editions of the Means Report and help us get more great guests like Andrea and Craig in a moment.